Have you ever wondered why, no matter how intense the storm, you somehow survive? Why, despite the obstacles and the betrayals, you are still here, still breathing, still standing? Perhaps it is not by chance. Perhaps it is because you are one of the chosen ones. The chosen ones are not ordinary people. They carry a light that cannot be extinguished, a mission that cannot be ignored, and a protection that cannot be broken. And in this video, we will uncover the hidden mystery of that protection, the divine shield that covers the chosen against evil forces. From the beginning of time, humanity has faced two realities, the presence of good and the presence of evil. But within this struggle, there has always been a group set apart, a remnant marked by destiny, a people selected by the divine for a higher calling. These are the chosen ones. If you have ever felt different, if you have ever been rejected for no reason, if you have ever been attacked more than others yet somehow always managed to rise again, then this message is for you. Because chosen ones are not left unguarded. They are watched over, they are guided, and they are fiercely protected. Throughout this journey, we will dive deep into who the chosen ones really are, why the enemy targets them with such intensity, and most importantly, how divine protection manifests in their lives. You will see that what has kept you alive until now was not luck, it was not coincidence, but it was divine covering. You will understand why some battles almost crushed you but never destroyed you. And by the end of this message, you will realize that as long as your purpose is alive, nothing in this world or in the spiritual realm can eliminate you. This is not just another motivational talk. This is a revelation for those who carry a divine assignment on their shoulders. It is a reminder that your existence is not ordinary, that your life is proof of supernatural intervention, and that your story is still unfolding under the shield of the Almighty. The chosen ones are not defined by titles, positions, or appearances. They are defined by something far deeper, something invisible yet undeniable. To be chosen is not about being perfect. It is about being set apart for a divine mission that goes beyond human understanding. The chosen ones are individuals marked by destiny, called to carry light in a world often consumed by darkness. They may not look extraordinary in the eyes of society, but in the spiritual realm they shine with a light that evil forces immediately recognize. They are different, and this difference cannot be hidden. From childhood, chosen ones often sense they are not like others. They feel things more deeply, they question life more profoundly, and they often feel like outsiders even within their own families. They carry an inner wisdom that seems beyond their years, and a sensitivity that makes them aware of energies, atmospheres, and the hidden motives of people around them. Many chosen ones go through intense loneliness because they cannot easily blend in. They are misunderstood, rejected, or even mocked for being too different, too quiet, too intense, or too spiritual. But that isolation is not a curse, it is preparation. It is in the silence, in the wilderness, and in the solitude that chosen ones begin to recognize their true identity and their true source of strength. Chosen ones are resilient. No matter how many times life knocks them down, they rise again. Their story is not one of ease but of survival, not of constant comfort but of constant overcoming. They may experience more pain than the average person, but with every trial, their spirit grows stronger. Their life is a testimony that no matter the attack, they cannot be permanently defeated. They are destined to rise. What sets chosen ones apart is also their hunger for truth. While many are satisfied with shallow answers, the chosen seek depth. They are not content with illusions. They yearn for spiritual clarity. This yearning drives them toward prayer, meditation, study, or simply a lifestyle of reflection that keeps them aligned with higher wisdom. Even when they try to run from their calling, something inside always pulls them back. They can work in ordinary jobs, live in ordinary homes, and walk ordinary streets, but they carry an extraordinary presence. And that presence cannot be hidden, because chosen ones radiate light even when they do not speak. They are often the target of envy, not because they seek attention, but because their energy exposes hidden darkness in others. Some people will dislike them without reason, not because of anything they have done, but because their spirit irritates what is unclean in others. This is part of the price of being chosen. Yet despite rejection, chosen ones carry compassion. Their hearts break easily for the suffering of others, and they often find themselves helping, guiding, or healing without even realizing they are doing it. Their words bring comfort, their presence brings peace, and their prayers carry power. They are, in essence, living vessels of divine purpose. Being chosen does not mean an easy life. In fact, it often means a harder path. But it also means being covered by a hand that never lets them fall too far. Chosen ones may wander, but they are never lost. They may stumble, but they are never abandoned. Their lives may be misunderstood by the world, but in the spiritual realm they are recognized as warriors, as lights, as instruments of the divine. They are not chosen for themselves alone, but for the mission they carry, a mission to awaken, to heal, and to lead others toward truth. So, who are the chosen ones? They are the ones who cannot quit, the ones who cannot blend in, the ones who cannot die before their time, the ones who carry fire in their souls and purpose in their steps. If you are listening and these words resonate within you, it may be because you, too, are one of them. To understand the power of divine protection over the chosen ones, we must first recognize the reality of evil forces. Many people walk through life believing that what they see with their eyes is all that exists, but chosen ones know that there is more, far more, happening behind the veil of the physical world. Evil is not a myth, it is not superstition, and it is not imagination. It is a force, active, intentional, and relentless in its mission to destroy light. From the beginning of time, there has been a battle between good and evil, and that battle did not remain in the heavens. It spilled into the world we live in. Evil forces manifest in different forms. Sometimes they are visible, appearing through people who rise up against you with hatred, envy, or betrayal. Sometimes they are invisible, operating in the spiritual realm through unseen attacks that bring confusion, oppression, and unexpected obstacles. Evil forces can work through systems, through circumstances, and even through thoughts, whispering lies of fear, doubt, and hopelessness. Chosen ones, because of the light they carry, are prime targets. When evil recognizes a chosen one, it recognizes a threat to darkness, a threat to lies, a threat to bondage. This is why chosen ones often face battles that seem heavier than those around them. They are not attacked because they are weak, but because they are dangerous to evil's agenda. To deny the existence of evil is to walk blindly into battle without armor. Chosen ones cannot afford such blindness, because their awareness is part of their strength. They see beyond what others see. They sense when an atmosphere is heavy, when an attack is near, or when someone is carrying hidden intentions. Their spirit discerns what the natural eye cannot. But even with this awareness, chosen ones often feel the weight of these attacks. They feel the rejection of people they loved, the betrayal of friends they trusted, the envy of those they tried to help, the obstacles that rise up just when they are about to advance. Sometimes, chosen ones may ask themselves, "Why me? Why does it seem like life is always testing me? Why do I face so many battles while others live peacefully?" The answer lies in their identity. Evil does not waste energy attacking those who pose no threat. Evil invests its time in trying to silence those who carry power, those who carry purpose, those who carry the ability to shift the destiny of others. If you are attacked more than most, it is because you are carrying something more valuable than most. Evil forces know they cannot steal your identity, so they try to weaken your spirit, to exhaust your energy, to make you question yourself, to make you quit before you step fully into your calling. They send storms not to kill you, but to distract you. They send betrayals not to destroy you, but to discourage you. They send obstacles not to end your mission, but to slow it down. And yet, in all of this, chosen ones must remember, the attacks are proof of who they are. You do not get attacked at this level unless you are marked at this level. Evil forces are real, but so is divine protection. And the very fact that you are still here, after all the battles, is evidence that darkness has not prevailed, and will not prevail over your life. The enemy does not waste resources on what is insignificant. The greater the attack, the greater the calling behind it. This is why chosen ones often find themselves in constant battles, because their very existence is a threat to the kingdom of darkness. Evil forces recognize what many chosen ones do not yet see in themselves: their potential, their purpose, and their divine assignment. The enemy attacks because he knows what will happen if the chosen step fully into their destiny. If the chosen walk in confidence, if they embrace their gifts, if they rise in authority, then countless lives will be touched, chains will be broken, and light will spread where darkness once ruled. The attacks are not random, they are strategic. The enemy studies the chosen, observing their weaknesses, their fears, and their vulnerabilities. He knows that if he cannot stop them physically, he will try to break them emotionally. If he cannot silence them externally, he will attempt to silence them internally, with voices of doubt, fear, and unworthiness. This is why so many chosen ones suffer rejection from an early age. Rejection is one of the enemy's favorite tools, because it cuts deep. It makes the chosen question their worth, their place, and their identity. But rejection is not a sign of weakness. It is often the very evidence of being chosen. The world rejects what it cannot understand, and the enemy manipulates that rejection to wound the soul. Another reason the chosen are attacked is because of their light. Light exposes darkness, and chosen ones do this effortlessly. Simply by existing, by speaking truth, by carrying love and compassion. They shine a light that forces hidden motives, lies, and evil to come to the surface. People with darkness in them will feel uncomfortable around the chosen, not because of anything they have done wrong, but because their presence reveals what others want to keep hidden. The enemy cannot stand this exposure, so he works to silence the chosen by isolating them, turning people against them, or burdening them with unnecessary battles. Financial hardship is another common battlefield. The enemy knows that chosen ones often carry visions and missions that require resources. By attacking their finances, he hopes to limit their reach, to frustrate their progress, and to tempt them into abandoning their calling for mere survival. But even in this, chosen ones often find miraculous provision that proves their source is divine, not human. Betrayal is another weapon frequently used. The chosen are often betrayed by those closest to them, people they trusted deeply. This is intentional because betrayal cuts sharper than the sword of an enemy. It shakes the heart and tempts the chosen to close themselves off from love and connection. The enemy hopes to make the chosen bitter, isolated, and cold, because a chosen one without love loses a powerful part of their mission. Yet every betrayal becomes another lesson, another layer of strength, and another reminder that divine protection remains intact. Ultimately, the enemy attacks chosen ones because he sees the future they cannot yet see. He knows their mission is unstoppable once they fully embrace it. He knows their influence will awaken others. He knows their existence threatens his grip on lives and territories. So he tries everything: discouragement, fear, temptation, isolation, hardship, but none of it can erase the fact that they are chosen. If anything, the attacks only confirm their identity. The chosen should not ask, "Why am I attacked so much?" but rather, "What does the enemy see in me that he fears so much?" The answer to that question reveals the greatness hidden inside. Divine protection is not just an idea, it is a reality that surrounds the chosen ones like an invisible shield. From the moment they are marked by destiny, they are covered by a force greater than themselves. This protection is not always visible to the naked eye, but its effects are undeniable. Many chosen ones can look back on their lives and see moments where disaster should have struck, where an accident should have ended them, where a betrayal should have broken them, yet somehow they survived, somehow they overcame, somehow they kept moving forward. That was not luck, that was divine protection in action. Divine protection is a covenant, an agreement between heaven and the chosen. It is the guarantee that no matter how fierce the attacks, no matter how close the enemy comes, the chosen will not be destroyed before their purpose is fulfilled. This does not mean they will never face hardship, but it means hardship will never have the final word. Protection does not always remove the storm, but it ensures the storm will not sink the ship. One of the ways this protection manifests is through shielding from dangers that the chosen do not even perceive. Countless times they are redirected, delayed, or even blocked from situations that later reveal themselves to be traps. A missed opportunity that once felt painful may later be understood as a divine rescue. A sudden change in plans may be the hand of God preventing disaster. This unseen covering works constantly, moving ahead of the chosen to clear paths they do not even know exist. Another way divine protection operates is through transformation. What the enemy meant for harm is turned into good. Attacks designed to destroy the chosen are converted into stepping stones for their growth and elevation. Every betrayal becomes a lesson, every rejection becomes redirection, every obstacle becomes preparation. This is the mystery of protection. It does not always stop the fire, but it makes the chosen fireproof. It does not always stop the battle, but it makes the chosen victorious. Angels also play a powerful role in this protection. Many chosen ones feel the presence of unseen helpers around them, guiding their steps, whispering warnings, or surrounding them with peace when everything around them is chaos. These messengers of light are assigned to guard, to strengthen, and to war on behalf of the chosen. Though invisible to human eyes, their presence is undeniable, and their interventions often come at the most critical moments. The covering also extends to timing. Chosen ones cannot die before their time. No matter how severe the attack, no matter how close the brush with death, if their mission is not complete, they are preserved. This is why so many chosen can recall near-death experiences, car accidents, sicknesses, or violent situations where they walked away when others did not. Their life is preserved because their assignment is not yet finished. Divine protection is also evident in the inner peace that chosen ones carry. Even in the middle of storms, they often experience a stillness that cannot be explained. This peace is not natural, it is supernatural. It is the quiet assurance that no matter how loud the noise of the enemy becomes, the chosen remains safe in the hands of the divine. This peace confuses the enemy because he expects fear, panic, or despair. Yet the chosen remain calm, resilient, and unbroken. Perhaps the greatest expression of divine protection is the simple fact that chosen ones cannot be defeated. They may be delayed, but not denied. They may be pressed down, but not crushed. They may be wounded, but not destroyed. Their very existence is evidence of divine covering, because they are still here, still rising, still carrying light in a world that tried to extinguish them. That is divine protection. It is unstoppable, unbreakable, and undeniable. One of the most powerful realities for the chosen ones is recognizing the evidence of divine protection in their own lives. These signs are not coincidences. They are testimonies that you are covered, guided, and preserved for a greater purpose. The first sign is survival. If you can look back over your life and recall moments where you should not have made it, where you should have been taken out, yet somehow you survived, that is proof of divine protection. Car accidents that could have ended your life but left you walking away. Illnesses that could have destroyed your body but instead you recovered. Situations where others were consumed but you were spared. These are not accidents, they are divine interventions. Another sign is miraculous redirection. Many chosen ones can testify of doors that closed suddenly, opportunities that vanished, or relationships that ended without explanation, only to later discover that those very situations were traps, betrayals, or disasters waiting to happen. At the moment, the pain may have felt unbearable, but in hindsight it becomes clear that the closed door was divine protection, saving you from consequences you could not foresee. Another undeniable sign of divine protection is the way enemies fail in their plans against you. Time and time again, people may rise against you, plotting, scheming, or speaking against your name, yet their attempts to destroy you always collapse. They may set traps, but you walk past them untouched. They may speak curses, but blessings come instead. They may try to bury you, but every attempt only elevates you further. This reversal of outcomes is not coincidence, it is divine defense. Another sign is the peace that remains within you during chaos. While others panic and crumble under pressure, chosen ones often find a strange calm in the storm. This peace surpasses understanding, it cannot be explained logically. It is a supernatural stillness that whispers, "You are safe, you are covered, you are not alone." That peace itself is proof that the divine presence is near. The presence of protection is also seen in the way the chosen always rise again. No matter how many times they are knocked down, they recover. They may go through seasons of loss, betrayal, or deep pain, but somehow they come back stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The enemy expects them to stay broken, but instead they return with greater fire. This ability to rise repeatedly is not human strength, it is divine strength sustaining them. Another sign is the guidance that often leads the chosen out of harm's way. Sometimes it comes as a sudden feeling not to go somewhere, an inner voice warning them to wait, or an unexplainable urge to change direction. Later, they realize that obeying that nudge saved them from danger. This inner guidance is divine protection at work, leading them step by step. Divine protection also shows itself through the way chosen ones are misunderstood. While this may feel painful, it is also a shield. Sometimes people cannot connect with you or cannot stay in your life, not because of rejection alone, but because the divine is protecting you from wrong influences, wrong alliances, or hidden agendas. Your isolation is often protection in disguise. Finally, one of the clearest signs is the unstoppable nature of your purpose. Despite all the attacks, you are still here, still moving, still fulfilling your assignment. Others may have counted you out, but divine protection keeps pulling you forward, proving that your destiny cannot be canceled. When you look at your life and realize how many times you should have been gone, how many times you should have lost everything, how many times you should have given up, yet you are still standing, you cannot deny it. Divine protection has been with you all along. Divine protection is always present over the chosen ones, but it is not passive. It responds to alignment, faith, and spiritual discipline. The more a chosen one cultivates their connection with the divine, the stronger and more tangible their protection becomes. One of the most powerful ways to activate this protection is through unwavering faith. Chosen ones must trust that even when circumstances appear overwhelming, even when the enemy seems to gain ground, there is a higher power guiding, guarding, and sustaining them. Faith acts as a signal, a declaration that the chosen are aligned with divine will, and it triggers interventions that the natural eye cannot see. Prayer is another essential practice. Not mere repetition of words, but deep, intentional communication with the divine, seeking guidance, strength, and clarity. Through prayer, chosen ones invite heavenly forces into their lives, creating a connection that strengthens their spiritual shield. Meditation and reflection also play a key role. By quieting the mind and attuning to higher frequencies, the chosen become aware of subtle spiritual cues and warnings. They begin to recognize patterns, discern hidden dangers, and sense opportunities for divine intervention. Living a life of righteousness is equally important. The chosen must cultivate integrity, honesty, compassion, and humility. These qualities create an inner environment that darkness cannot penetrate. The enemy finds no foothold where the spirit is pure and aligned with divine principles. Another crucial aspect is staying purpose-driven. The chosen ones cannot activate full protection while ignoring their mission. Protection intensifies when the chosen pursue their calling, embrace their gifts, and walk boldly in the path they were destined for. Abandoning purpose weakens the shield, but every step toward destiny strengthens it. Obedience and submission to divine guidance are equally powerful. Even when it conflicts with human logic or personal desires, following the divine path ensures that protection remains active. Resistance or rebellion can create openings for attacks, whereas alignment with higher wisdom fortifies every aspect of life. Chosen ones must also guard against distractions and toxic influences. Negative environments, destructive relationships, and worldly temptations can erode their spiritual armor. Protecting the mind, heart, and spirit is as important as seeking external protection, because the enemy often seeks access through inner weakness. Gratitude and worship amplify divine covering. By recognizing the blessings, acknowledging the unseen hand that guides them, and expressing thankfulness, chosen ones create a spiritual resonance that strengthens the shield. The enemy cannot penetrate a spirit vibrating in constant gratitude and praise. Another key to activating protection is speaking life and truth over oneself. Words carry power, and chosen ones who affirm their identity, destiny, and divine favor reinforce the invisible shield. Confessions of faith, declarations of purpose, and proclamations of victory are weapons that actively strengthen protection. Finally, chosen ones must remember that protection is a partnership. It is not passive waiting, but active participation. Faith, prayer, alignment, obedience, integrity, gratitude, and purpose work together to awaken, intensify, and sustain divine covering. When all these elements come together, the chosen walk through storms unshaken, face attacks unbroken, and accomplish what was once thought impossible. This is how the chosen activate and strengthen their protection. By living in alignment with the divine, embracing their calling, and remaining steadfast, knowing that every action, every thought, and every decision contributes to the armor that surrounds them. Their protection is alive, responsive, and unstoppable, reflecting the power of a higher realm that guards them from all evil. The chosen ones are not protected for themselves alone. Their divine covering is not only for survival, but for purpose. Every attack they face, every obstacle that rises, every enemy that opposes them is part of a much larger spiritual conflict that spans dimensions and affects the destiny of countless lives. The mission of the chosen goes far beyond personal success or comfort. It is a mission that involves awakening humanity, exposing darkness, and bringing light where there has been oppression, confusion, and despair. Chosen ones are like beacons in a world that has grown dark. Their actions, their words, their prayers, and even their presence send ripples across the spiritual realm. When they step into alignment with their calling, the heavens respond, and even the smallest effort becomes part of a divine plan that can shift destinies. The enemy knows this, which is why the attacks are often so intense. The greater the potential impact of the chosen, the greater the resistance. But divine protection ensures that these attacks cannot succeed in destroying their mission. Instead, they refine, train, and strengthen the chosen to fulfill their role with precision and courage. Every struggle prepares them for leadership. Every betrayal sharpens their discernment. Every challenge deepens their wisdom. The chosen are warriors in a war that most cannot see, and their protection allows them to stand firm when others would fall. Their battles are not random. They are strategic, and the divine ensures that each battle serves the purpose of the greater mission. This is why, even in suffering, chosen ones are never truly alone. Angels, divine guidance, and unseen forces work around them, ensuring that their efforts are amplified and their steps are directed toward victory. In this spiritual war, their protection is both a shield and a sword. It keeps them safe while empowering them to confront the forces of darkness with courage and authority. Chosen ones are destined to be catalysts of change. Their influence spreads beyond what they can perceive, touching lives, inspiring hope, and revealing truth. Their protection is not passive. It is active, enabling them to face the impossible and emerge triumphant. Every miracle, every deliverance, Every preservation is a sign that they are not merely participants but pivotal players in a cosmic struggle between light and darkness. Understanding this role changes everything. Chosen ones begin to see that the trials they endure are not punishments but assignments, that every attack is an opportunity to exercise divine authority, and that their presence alone is a force of spiritual disruption against evil. When chosen ones fully embrace their role in the bigger spiritual battle, they walk with confidence, knowing that their protection is guaranteed, their mission is unstoppable, and their impact will ripple far beyond what they can imagine. They are not just surviving, they are conquering, shaping, and fulfilling the divine plan written before time began. As we reach the end of this journey, it becomes clear that the chosen ones are not ordinary. They are living proof of divine intervention, living instruments of a purpose far greater than themselves. Throughout life, they will face relentless attacks, betrayals, obstacles, and storms that test the very limits of their spirit. Yet every trial, every hardship, every moment of despair is a confirmation of who they are, a reminder that they are under a divine covering that cannot be broken. The signs are all around them: survival against impossible odds, peace in chaos, miraculous reversals, protection from unseen dangers, and the resilience to rise again and again. These are not coincidences. They are fingerprints of the Almighty ensuring that the mission will continue, that the light will never be extinguished, and that the chosen will walk through the darkest valleys unscathed. The chosen ones are not protected for comfort. They are protected for purpose. Their mission extends far beyond themselves, touching lives, awakening souls, and confronting the forces of darkness in ways the world cannot see. The divine protection over them guarantees that nothing can stop what has been ordained. If you are listening and feeling the resonance of this message, understand this: your life is not an accident. Your struggles are not in vain. Your presence here is proof that you are preserved for greatness, shielded from destruction, and empowered to fulfill the calling placed upon you before the foundations of the world. Walk boldly in your purpose, embrace the protection that surrounds you, and trust that every attack, every challenge, and every test is a stepping stone toward your destiny. You are unstoppable. You are chosen. You are divinely protected. Let this knowledge guide your steps, strengthen your faith, and empower you to rise higher than ever before. Remember, the forces of darkness may plan against you, but they cannot prevail. Your light, your mission, and your divine covering are eternal. Walk in confidence, carry your purpose, and know that you are never alone. Divine protection surrounds you, and your story is still unfolding under the shield of the Almighty.